think about the last time you did something and you go, why on earth did I do that? Why would I do that? Why would I say yes instead of saying no? Why would I procrastinate on something so important? Why would I eat this food if I'm trying to be healthy? So I'm sure that you had a moment in your life where you felt, where you ask yourself this question because you don't understand, right? You set yourself to do something. You're trying to improve something. You're trying to do something. And then you're doing the complete opposite of the thing that you want. So if you want to find answers to this question that I'm sure that you've asked before to yourself, we're going to understand, we're going to use the map of Carl Jung. Now, Carl Jung discovered in his research, he has been doing a lot of research on his life, and he discovered that the human being, we are not a one part thing. We have different parts of the mind, right? So Carl Jung discovered that, and something very important is people that don't know this part and can't understand this part, it's very difficult for them to understand the action they take and to understand themselves. So let us understand that real quick. Carl Jung divided the mind with 4 parts. The first one, we have the ego. The ego is something that you might have heard before, and it goes like that. I'm going to give you a very simple example, so I'm not going to complicate things so you can understand. Now, the ego is the part of you that take decision. So I need to eat a pizza. I need to go to the restaurant. I need to succeed in life. I need to have a car. I need to have a house. So this is the part of you where you identify yourself with, and this is the part of you that thinks that it has control over everything. And that's what happened. That whenever you set yourself to do something and then you see that you do something very different and you are confused, you said, why did I act like that? Now, the ego is the part of you that make all these decisions. This is the part of you that you identify with. The conscious part, the part of you that thinks that it has everything under control. Now, this part of you is not the only part that exists. There are 3 more, according to Carl Jung. And once you understand them, once you are aware of them, you can understand yourself better and you can understand why you do the thing you do. If you're not aware of these parts and you don't understand them, you think that you're crazy. You think that you're lazy or unmotivated. It's nothing like that. You're not lazy. You're not unmotivated. You're not weak. You just are aware of the parts of you that are also contributing to the action that you're taking. Now, the second one that Carl Jung discovered is called the shadow. Now, the shadow, like you might think of, is all this part of the self that we are ashamed of. So we're trying to hide this part of ourselves. We're trying to hide this qualification from ourselves and from other people. So you don't want anyone to call you lazy person. You don't want anyone to call you unmotivated person. You don't want anyone to call you a mean person. So these are the part of you that you're trying to hide from yourself and you're trying to hide from other people. So this is the shadow. Now, the third part of the mind that Carl Jung discovered is called the personal unconscious. Now, the personal unconscious, this is where you have all these emotional storage, all these moments in life that has a emotional signature on your life. Moments in your life, events that happen in your childhood, events that happen in your life right now that has a certain emotional signature, that has a certain emotional meaning to you personally. Now, all these moments, all these events, they build what we call the personal unconscious. Now, this part of your mind also contributes whenever you are going to act on something, whenever you are going to do this thing. But let's take an example for the personal unconscious. So let's say that when you were a kid and you were presenting something, right? So you were in the classroom and you were presenting something. Now, as you were presenting the thing, maybe you did a mistake or something happened and people start laughing at you. Now, this means something personal to you and you've stored that on your personal unconscious. Now, this storage that you have on your unconscious mind, your subconscious mind, will contribute whenever you are going to act on something, whenever you're going to do something. It's going to contribute to the decision that you're going to take in life. Now, you might say, for example, you might develop a belief that people don't love you. right? Or you might develop a feeling that you're not good at public speaking. Why? Because you have the storage on your unconscious mind, your subconscious mind, right? So all they contribute to the way that you act. Now, that was the third one. The fourth one and the last one is what we call the persona. Now, persona means mask. So we all have this mask. So I am wearing one, you are wearing one all the time. So you have a mask for your family, you have a mask for your job, you have a mask for your kid. So you look different person for these different type of people or for these different situations. So you want a certain group of people or you want a certain person to see you a certain way. So for that to happen, we use the mask, we use the persona. This is also a part of the mind that Carl Jung discussed. Now, what happens is whenever that you did something and you don't understand, you're asking yourself, why did I do this? Why would I do that? The reason you do this is because you're not aware of these other three parts of the mind, which is the personal unconscious, we have the persona, and then we have the shadow. So the ego thinks this is the only one that exists, and this is the only one that has everything under control. So whenever your ego gets into the way and think that you are only one part and it thinks that it has everything under control, whenever that happens, whenever you act a certain way and you don't understand, you see, why would I act like that? And you don't know that you have this part of yourself, you might think that you're lazy. You might think that you are unmotivated. You might think that you are a weak person. But that is not the case once you understand that there are different parts of your mind playing a role whenever you are going to take an action. So that is very important to understand that because it helps you to understand yourself and understand the action you take. Now, I'm going to give you an example so I can conclude this video and make sure that you understand the concept I shared with you. Now, let's say that you're going to work on a project, right? So you have a project to work on. It can be a personal project or it can be a work project. Now, the ego in that particular example, in that case, will be the part of you that say, I have to start this project. So I need to start this project. It's very important for my growth. It's very important for the job. It's very important for my business. Now, this is the ego talking. Now, the shadow might be represented here on this situation as something that you're not aware of at this moment. It might be something like the fear of rejection. Now, you might have this little voice in your head telling you, what if I fail? You know what? Let me keep this project here. I'm not gonna start it right now because I don't want to fail. Because if I fail, people are gonna judge me. People are gonna judge my work, and they're gonna say that I am a lazy person, or I am a person that is not smart enough, or I'm a person that is not good enough. So this is the voice that you're gonna have in your head, and this is the shadow trying to represent itself here in this situation. Now, the personal unconscious could be represented as something that you tried to do something before in your childhood, and you didn't succeed at it for a certain reason. Now, the reason for that, you attach a certain emotional connection to that event on your childhood, and then you assume you have this belief that it doesn't work to start a project because you're gonna fail anyway. So you have this little voice in your head trying to help you make excuses not to start the project that you say that you're going to start. Now, the last part, which is the persona, it can be manifested as something, you know what? I'm not going to start this project. Because if I start this project and if I fail, people are going to see me weak. People are going to see me that I am a dumb person. And I don't want people to see me like this because my mom knows that I am a smart person. And since I'm a smart person, I want my mom to see the smart person that I am. I think it's better if I start this project. I'm not going to start anything. So let's get this done for today. I'm going to start another thing next week. So that could be a different expression, different manifestation of different part of your mind. Now, once you understand this, you can make a better decision. You can make a better judgment of yourself and understand why you do the thing you do, why you procrastinate, why you stop something you should start, and why you start something you should stop. My advice for you for today is to observe yourself and understand deeply who you are and why you do the thing you do. That's the number one skill to develop, the self-awareness. And once you understand yourself and see the pattern that needs to be changed, if you need help, there's a free guide on the description of the video. You can go ahead and download it for free. It'll help you understand the 4 levels of change and why you self-sabotage, right? And then you can also check our course, our framework that can help you to stop self-sabotage in only 5 steps, and then go ahead and change your life forever. That was my advice for you for today. And then I'll see you on the next video.